Hey guys, Travis with RAC Garage here. I'm in my basement because I forgot to do an intro, so I'm doing one while I'm editing. So this video, I'm going to be doing the wheel arch bead details and the inner fenders. I'm going to be making them from scratch. They're not going to get finished. I'm just kind of roughing them out, working my way around the car, building panel by panel, and then I'm going to start cutting and welding in these panels that I'm making. Alright, so with this mess taken care of, let's jump into the video. Okay, so I got the profile of that bead along the rear tire, along the rear wheel well opening. That's exactly what it is. I'm going to make a die to press that in. It's going to be tricky. It's the first time doing anything like this, from scratch anyway. So, it should be very interesting and pretty excited. Got a chunk here of steel, so figure try to make something out of this. I would make it out of like Delrin or little scraps of wood, but I haven't made my hardwood holder yet, and this is just scraps that I've literally had around forever, so might as well use them. Alright, so you saw me cutting out these shapes. I ground them down and they are polished. Look at that. So, now I just have to post on them and we can do a test piece. I curved it the wrong way. It's supposed to be like this. So, more metal wasted. This is not cheap. Alright, so I got this template here. I got the dirty finger trick on one side and Sharpie on the back side. I'll see which one matches up better against the passenger side. I did this on the driver's side because that bead is more complete. So we'll see. See how this will look. Alright, so I want to make sure this fits on the passenger side. I'm going to cut it out and transfer it to a piece of steel, and we will use these dies. I think before that I want to drill and tap a hole on this back side here for a stop, and I might even cut this top die some, like hack this piece off here, because I don't think I need all of this down here. As long as that turns the flange, I think that's all I'll need. So I might take that off. Might, as in I'm probably going to, because this is, I only need like an inch or so here of sheet metal to match up with the inner fender that I have to create. So I don't think I need all that, machine amazes me. It cuts perfect. I just didn't have the steadiest hand, so I needed to kind of clean it up on the belt sander. But I think I laid this out wrong. So this is going to get bent like this. This line was supposed to be for this part of the die. I laid it out here. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but I really can't use this piece for anything, so I think I'm just going to do it anyway. This will either be another test piece or I actually did it right. I'm not sure. It's 1 inch to 1.5 inch difference of radius, but with the forming that happens, I'm not sure what's going to happen. So I guess we should just go and try it. So let's, well, first off, I'm going to drill and tap this so I can put a stop, and then we'll get going on this. Alright, so I not perfected, but I kind of like mess with these dies so I can put the piece in, not have to put any preliminary bend in it, because at first I had this piece like out to here and it was sticking way down here. I thought I needed it, and I really don't think I need it. This is going to make the bend, and if there's nothing stopping it from coming down, it's just going to come down anyway. So I think that's going to be fine, and now I can just do it in one shot. I can use the backstop here now. I drilled and tapped it. So, well, we'll see how this goes. Wow. Okay. This is cool. Look at that. Look at that bead. I did that. Okay, well, the machine did it. But I did that. So, me cutting this bottom off, I think was a good idea, but it's a little bit more work. So, since I made that die a little shorter, I cut that little leg off for this angle here. That's why there's kind of a line here. It didn't actually bend it over like I thought it was going to, because it's on a curve. There's not enough material here, and it needs to stretch if it wants to roll over. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to throw my linear stretch dies in the planishing hammer and just kind of go back and forth with that and slowly kind of bend it this way as I'm planishing and stretching linearly, and that should flatten this. Oops. It should flatten that flange out to kind of like that, but flat. I'm trying to get it flat. Then I'll run this way in the English wheel to flatten it out some more. But it's getting there. I can't believe, like, even like this way, it's pretty straight. So it's worked out pretty nicely. I still don't think it's a correct curve, but it works. The concept works. But I'll see for real once I stretch this out. It might let it kind of expand a little because it's a little too tight. I think when I stretch this, it'll let the metal kind of relax a little bit, and I'll get what I was asking for, what I was looking for. Alright, since I just got that wheel arch bead detail kind of roughed out, I'm going to jump on the inner fender wells because I I guess that's kind of next. I'm working my way around the car, and that's just the next logical step for me is to make those. So I'm going to make them in 3 pieces, the center and the 2 ends. The 2 ends are a little more complicated than the center. So let's start with the center. First time really doing a bunch of shrinking on the Pullmax, and I got quite a deep shrink here, about 5 inches. Now I'm going to smooth it out on the English wheel, then kind of see where I'm at, because first time using that, usually I use a stump, but now I have that little beast, so I'm using it. So let's smooth this out, get it nice, and see if we have to shrink it some more. So, on to English wheel. Alright, so here's the panel now. It's got good shape in it. It's not totally, oh, I guess it's pretty close. It's not totally a right angle. It's not flat here yet, but I don't really think the wheel well does that anyway. So let's go, let's test this. It looks like I got the first bit of shape. There's quite a bit in this little this wheel well, so I got to work on this a lot more. Do a lot more shrinking here in the top, and bring the shrink down some actually, because right here it fits pretty well, but there's like, I don't know, 3-4 inches that need shrinking to go forward. I need more material, so I'm gonna try and shrink it all and see if I can't get it to the edge. If I can't, then I'll just wheel a bit of shape, a strip, and weld it to the edge. Same thing, but I just want to see if I can do it in the Pullmax. See what we can achieve. Actually, I'm gonna put the doming die on, and I'm gonna do, I think, like, I'm gonna grab that 9-inch radius piece I did, that quick little triangle, and I'm gonna see how well it fits on this, because I think I can just put the doming die around here on the flat spot where it needs curve. Since this is already shrunk, it might fit up and be good right here, and I can just add shape by the doming die and make it sit flat. So I'm gonna try that. We're just learning here. Done a bunch of things, but I like to try different techniques and get the same result. I could shrink this whole thing and get shape that way, and then smooth it out in the English wheel. I could just smash this flat spot here with a hammer to stretch it out, and then wheel it. So I'll stretch the metal back to meet up with that. It's a bunch of different options, so I think I just want to try that doming die just to, you know, shits and giggles, you know? So the little triangle test piece I did the 9-inch radius on, you know, I used the shrinking dies, so I kind of messed it up. So, not going to be doing it that way. Well, I'm going to be doing it with the doming dies. I'm going to try. But, what, Travis? What are you trying to say? I can't test if that works, so I'm just going to kind of go after it with a, you know, go after it with the doming die anyway and see what happens. This is what I do. I do things, I see what happens, I see if there's better ways to do things. I don't like doing the same thing every time. Because if I got different tools to do the same thing, might as well use them. That's too much. Well, actually, I can put the damage into the panel with this and then smooth it out with the English wheel. So instead of having to swing the hammer, boom, make a bunch of dents in the panel to stretch it out, I can just use this. It's not too bad of an idea. It's so freaking slippery. We're looking better. But this edge does not hit yet, but these corners are hitting. So what I'm going to do is shrink those corners so this can come up and meet up, because the whole middle really needs to come up, not just this edge. So it would be a lot easier to just shrink those tiny little corners, and it should let the whole top come up, and we should be looking pretty good. So let's go to the Pullmax and do a little bit of shrinking, wheeling, and come back here. Alright, so I got this hammered out pretty much the way I want it. So now, see, look at that. Woo! Beautiful. Little bit of a wave to it, but, you know, I can fix that. And you gotta remember, folks, this is just an inner fender. So, now, I have to build the front and the back. The back kind of feathers out to a pointy kind of section, and this one is kind of just like a short triangle piece. So let me work on this one now, and you know, see if we can't get this thing finished today. So I roughed out this this corner of the inner fender well where it kind of comes out and meets with the fender bead and the quarter panel patch that I made. So all these three pieces are going to be one eventually. So a little bit more shaping because I kind of want to make this has to be like a full 90. So it's more shrinking to do here to make this curl up. Actually, maybe not so much here, but starting kind of around here and up and around. This is pretty good. The angle of attack I'm at right now, I like that. But I need to scrunch this corner so everything can kind of come together. Alright, so I'm going to tech screw this this little piece I made in so I can see where I need to shape my next little triangle piece here. I guess I'm not using a light. It's okay. It's okay. Gotcha. It's okay. Alright, so I kind of tech screwed all the patches I have so far onto the body. So I got the middle section, this front section hammered out. Now I'm going to work on this back section. And, you know, one piece at a time, this thing's coming together. One little piece at a time. As you can tell, I didn't record myself finishing those corner pieces or even making that piece. But I'm just trimming them to size now, and I'm going to tack them up so they're all one piece and get closer to the final shape. Alright, so I tacked up these three pieces. I made this little piece and I didn't record it because there wasn't really much, not much shape to it. It's just form. It's just bent over my knee pretty much. So it's looking like a legit inner fender now. Alright, so I got it welded. It's one piece now, this inner fender. It's looking pretty damn good if you ask me. I'm gonna have to trim the bottom somehow. I'm gonna follow the sub rail that I made that's in there. And like I said, I gotta add some, I think, to like the corners here where it dips in then comes back out like that. This is fine. It's a little too much. Same here. Need to add where it's a little jumbled mess, but that's no big deal. So, and everything needs a planish, a grind, and a final wheeling to kind of even out the transitions to each one. See, there's a kind of a low spot here. Wheel that up. Here's, I don't know, it's pretty good, I guess. Still, could use some wheeling, but the whole thing looks mighty fine. I wish I could have done this in one piece, but like I said before, first time shaping and stuff on the Pullmax, and I didn't want to bite off more than I can chew, especially with steel being as expensive as it is. I don't like to waste. Alright guys, that's all I got for you on this video. Sorry I didn't post it on a Sunday. I just figured that the Super Bowl would kind of mess everything up, but I'm pretty sure I just messed everything up. So, I apologize. But, video's out now. And this beautiful, beautiful inner fender well. I'll be finishing it, well, kind of rough finishing it in the next time we're working on this car. But yeah, a lot more cool things to come. I'm really excited about the progress I'm making on this car and the progress that this Pullmax has allowed me to do in the short amount of time. So things will be getting done pretty quickly from now on, and I'm excited about that. It means a lot more work, a lot more videos, quicker videos hopefully. So I hope you guys enjoy. Keep on liking, commenting, and subscribing, clicking the bell, you know, everything you guys do so well. Thank you, I appreciate it. Like always, on to the next one.